We all want to get into games development because in the back of our minds, we have that one dream game that we always wanted to make. As indie developers, we want to share our vision with the world. I wanted to create my dream game too, a survival horror with branching storylines that not only change how the NPCs react to your character, but also the entire level design. But that was not the game I ended up making. Instead, I made gaming Journo Simulator, a game that, well, has branching storylines that not only change how NPCs react to your character, but also unlocks a hidden mini level at the end of the game. Hello everyone, my name is Suneil Angel, and this is my retrospect series where I look back at my development diary and share with you the experiences and lessons I learned. Before I start this video, I just want to make one thing absolutely clear. I'm not saying that you should not make your dream game ever. I'm saying that your dream game was probably inspired by a game that was probably worked on by a team of, I don't know, maybe 5+ people with years of experience in between them, and that project probably took them years to complete. Yeah, in my case, it was Silent Hill. I wanted to create a survival horror game that had the atmosphere, the dread of Silent Hill, but rather than sending the players on a linear journey or have some mechanics in place that would give the player one of many endings, I wanted to let the player craft their own adventure. I can't go into details, but it was a pretty sick idea. But Silent Hill, yes, the original PlayStation 1 classic, was pretty much the idea of 4 people. And once Konami greenlit the project, the core team had around 30+ people. And their team included 2D artists that created the art for the game, 3D artists, for the 3D models, animators for characters and creatures, user interface designers, for the menus, level designers for, the actual stage of the game, narrative designer that created the story and lore of Silent Hill, AI programmers for the enemies, VFX artists for the particles, sound engineers, and many, many more. Point is, there were a lot of roles involved in making that game, which meant as a solo developer, I had to take on the roles of all these people myself, and much more. And remember, Silent Hill, yes, the original PlayStation 1 game, was in development for around 3 years. Yes, I could cut corners around some places, but I still had to learn a lot of things about game design, technical things like level streaming, level loading, simple things like character movement, and some of the more complicated stuff like saving and loading, packaging the project, and many, many other things. Now, I had a choice. I could attempt to make my dream game with zero experience, which could result in me burning out and not being able to complete it, or ditch the idea completely. Look, we all have a personal life, and I knew I could not give this game 3 or 4 years of my life, maybe longer, because this is my first game. I began looking into other devlogs, and I'm going to share with you what I learned. Game development is not easy. It will push you to your limits as you're trying to get that one feature to work. This is why a lot of indie devs give up halfway through. Not only because it is difficult, but because they want to make their dream game and they have set the bar so high up for themselves that they can't reach it. I knew it would be difficult for me to create what I wanted with no prior experience whatsoever, so I began breaking down the idea itself and I looked at the most complicated aspect, the branching storylines with multiple endings. I knew that would be the USP of my survival horror game, so this is the feature that I had no idea how to create and execute. So I decided to not make my dream game, but instead work on this smaller meme game instead. That way I'm learning how to create this one particular feature, but also it is introducing me to game design, development, deployment, and marketing. I know it's called Gaming Journo Simulator, and yes, it is a meme game, but I didn't want it to be simple. I wanted to push myself while not taking more than a year to develop it. And yes, I did get a lot of experience just from developing this little meme game. I learned how to plan out my project, how to develop certain features, where to look if I got stuck somewhere, how to publish a game, and how to update it. One thing that I did mess up on was marketing, but we'll talk about that some other time. What I'm trying to say is that I took a good hard look at myself, realized that I was not up to scratch, that I was in no position to invest 3 or 4 years in development, and had to put my dream game on the back burner. I also broke down the gameplay mechanics and focused on one which I knew would play a massive role when I start developing my dream game. So, you might be wondering, should you develop your dream game as your first game? Unfortunately, I don't have a clear answer. One size doesn't fit all. I don't know if you have any prior experience in game design from college or university or anything, or if you're just starting out. I don't know what kind of game you have in mind or that one particular feature you want to include in your project. The thing is, there are loads of tutorials available online and they talk about how to create games, but none of them cover the human aspects of it. The human aspect being the stress that comes with the entire development cycle. Late nights, early mornings, the sacrifices, and my personal favorite, the unforeseen circumstances that slow or halt your progress, like passing of a loved one or health conditions. There are loads of issues that can crop up, and then there is the outside fact that not every game is a success. At the end of the day, you can pour your heart and soul into a project, but it can equally tank or get overshadowed by other bigger releases. That's just how it goes, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about it. All of this can take a toll on a person if you're going to go all in. So, if you want to make your first game to be that dream game you always wanted to make, then more power to you. I wish you the best of luck. If you've already created like a wishlist page or something, leave a link for me to check it out in the comment section below. But if you have no prior experience and just want to start, I will say you should probably evaluate your project. Instead of developing your dream game or project, whatever, maybe start off with something small that incorporates some of the features you want to see in your dream game. That way, you are learning how to develop your project and the features you want to see in your dream game, but just on a smaller scale. Also, give yourself some realistic time. If this small project is going to take you more than 2 years to complete, then you probably bit off more than you can chew. This will also help you figure out if you want to pursue game development as a full-time job or follow it like a hobby. Because the last thing you want is to quit your job, get in development, and not enjoy it and then struggle financially. Don't jump into things. If this is your first time, take baby steps. I know Tony Stark said in the first Iron Man movie that sometimes you gotta run before you can learn how to walk. Something along that line. Yeah, I can see where he was coming from, but if you have just started to run, then it doesn't mean you can take part in a marathon. And trust me, game development is like a marathon. There will be a lot of ups and downs. There will be times when you have to speed up. There will be times when you have to slow down and catch your breath. And when you start off, the finish line will be nowhere in sight. So yeah, that's my take on it. Whether you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're an indie developer, share the title of your game in the comments as well. I want to see what you're working on. That's enough from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, have a great day. Stay safe. Look after yourself. Christ is King. Peace out, angels, and stay awesome.